Hi folks, it's Glenn here with another installment in my series of the Stumac violin project. So I'm about a week in, just a little over a week maybe, and I've got the Purfling installed on this violin. Now, like I said in my last episode, it certainly was a learning experience and wasn't without its challenges and mistakes. But for better or for worse, it's all installed, and I'm ready to move on to the next step in the process. So some of the things that I did learn while installing this Purfling. Now, this is a little bit of the leftover Purfling that I had. It's made in 3 strips. So it almost looks like a plastic or a Teflon in the middle that's white, and then there's a fibrous material on each side of it, and that fits into a channel on the violin to give it that decorative and strengthening effect. So one of the biggest challenges I had for sure was trying to bend this stuff, and I knew that was going to be a challenge right off the hop. The thing that I had the best success with was using a hot, damp, almost wet cloth and sort of soaking it in the cloth, but not for too long, so that the strips didn't delaminate, but long enough that I was able to just take and slowly give it little bends. These curves here were probably the biggest challenge, and I did have a little bit of problem. See, I had a little break in it here. It's not too noticeable. So one of the things that they suggested was to use a piece of copper pipe and heat it up, and then bend it around the pipe. And about the only thing I succeeded in doing on that was just burning my finger slightly. So it wasn't. I didn't get much value out of that. I couldn't figure out what they were doing with that. I noticed one guy was talking about using his wife's curling iron. So I don't know how that worked out for him, but I don't have a curling iron. My wife doesn't have a curling iron. So anyways, for better or worse, it's installed, and it doesn't look too terrible bad. So now I'm on to the next step sometime over the next few weeks probably. I will be working on installing the neck. Now that's probably the most critical part to the function of the violin, is installing the neck to get the right angle, the correct angle, and to get it set in place solidly. So I mentioned earlier as well that a lot of the tools that luthiers use are handmade. Necessity is the mother of all invention, and so I've manufactured this little tool here for helping me set the neck in place at the correct angle. So what I'll do, I'll take and I'll glue this nut in place permanently now. That's what the strings will go over once I have it finished and I'm ready to string it. Now the fingerboard I'll tack in place with glue, and so once that's in place, then this jig here is made so that the height here is exactly 27 millimeters, and the height right here will be 6 millimeters, but it's exactly 330 millimeters from here to here. So the way that works is you set it firmly against the nut, and then this piece here sits exactly where the bridge is. Then you something like that, and that will give you the correct angle of the bridge at, or sorry, the correct angle of the fingerboard leading up to the bridge. So it's going to be quite a challenge. You really only get one chance to glue it, so it has to be fitted very precisely and very snugly. And then, like I say, once you glue, you only get one shot at it. So that's a little bit unnerving when that time comes. So right now I'm busy trying to lay in the tools that I need to do this. So I'll probably need some very fine, precise saws for making the cuts on the mortise, they call it, and to trim the heel of the neck, the heel and the foot. And also chisels. Apparently luthiers use a lot of chisels, really sharp, fine chisels for cutting away the material in here once you make those angle cuts with a little saw. So that's where I'm at. Probably be several weeks before I get on to the next step, and I will keep everybody informed. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.